All right, it says I'm live, so I'm going to believe it. If you're out there, let me know as soon as possible. I need a sound check and a video check. Somebody get on there. We are live. This is live. If it doesn't say live up here somewhere, then you're a future person, and future people are people that are watching this sometime in the future. But if it says live up here, then we're live, and so I need a audio and a video check before we get rolling to make sure that I haven't done something stupid like leave my microphone off or something like that, or perhaps the internet's too slow. I'm listening for the generator. Make sure everything's going. All right, Pat's here from snowy Montana, and War Dog Haim is here from the azure skies of the land of Mormon right now, which I suppose is Utah, not his usual place. Audio and video is great. Let's go do the box thing. We'll do that, then we'll move on. All right, everybody, push in, wherever you are, whatever platform you're on. If you're on Facebook 1, Facebook 2, Facebook 3, Bunker Nation group on Facebook, if you're on Twitch, if you're on Periscope, if you're on YouTube, push on in and get in here. We don't have to worry about social distancing, no mask required. Get in here, get into the comment section, type in where you are, say hello. That's just a friendly thing to do. Get in here, let's get this thing started. We'll give it a few minutes for people to kind of show up, and then we're going to get going. Good evening. All right, video is good. Sound is good. Everything's working. Y'all get on in here. Just tell me where you are and say hi. Don't be a lurker. Don't be out there just lurking. Come on in here and let's chat. Here's the thing. If you have a comment, a question, something you want to talk about, a topic, put it in the comment section now. Doesn't matter whether I get to it immediately. If it's in the comment section, it's very likely I will scan through there at some point during the evening and we'll get to it. But it's better to have that than to have me do a whole monologue and then sit there and everybody's just staring at me. It's like the worst thing because it's like a comedy club when you do a good set and everybody's just sitting there looking at you. So get your comments, get your questions, get your topics in. All right, Nancy's here. Good to see you. Facebook user is here. Facebook user means they didn't give us permission to use their name. Scott Glenn is here. All right, Scott. You guys write in where you are. Bucksport in Maine is here. All right, everybody. My name is Michael Bunker. This is the Bunker Nation Show, where we think and we thrive. We learn how to think. We talk about how to think. We talk about logic, reason, whatever's going on, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever I want to talk about. Facebook user says, you mentioned the constitutional monarchy a while back. Care to elaborate now? We might get to that. I want to do a whole show on constitutional monarchy at some point. Finishing up some work before I got to head out. Give me a summary about what you'll be gabbing about. Salient points. We're going to talk a little bit about how not to be tricked, not just by fake news, but the whole... when things are going on, when people are worked up, when people are into the news and they're watching stuff, they're trying to prognosticate, they kind of go after conspiracy theories and all this kind of stuff. I totally agree with most conspiracy theories because I'm too smart not to be a coincidence theorist. But we're going to talk about how to read that stuff, how to look at it, and hallmarks of false prophets. Think, thrive, survive. That's right. Pennsylvania's in the house. Good to see you guys. Come on in. Tell you where you are. Hit the like button. I don't see any likes show up. There's the first one that's just showed up. Maybe there's been more. You got to hit the like button. If you're in the YouTube universe, make sure you subscribe and all that kind of stuff. What you have to do, Michael says he doesn't know. Michael Barton says he doesn't know why his name showed up. It says at the beginning of the thing, you got to click this link and you got to go give them permission to use your name or else they're not going to let you use it. Good to see Michael's here from Alabama. All right, so we're going to talk about some of these things. And let me tell you, this is the kind of the thing. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been getting stuff right for 20-some years, talking about what's going on in the world. And there's a reason why I get so much stuff right and why I don't get so much stuff wrong. And the reason is that I pay attention. I have rules as to what I choose to give any of my time, to spend any of my mind space on. And outside of those rules, I just don't give it much thought. I don't spend much time on it. And because of that, I don't fall for a lot of junk. I don't fall for a lot of conspiracy things, and I continuously get things right. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Get some hallmarks of when you're getting bad information. The number one thing you need to do and you need to learn to do is to admit to yourself that you don't know anything. In the news, what's going on in the world, what's going on with politics, you're all wrapped up into it. You're getting everything through this screen and you don't know shit. Everything you think you know, somebody has packaged for you. If you've watched shows like House of Cards or The West Wing or any of those shows, you should know by now that everything you're getting was designed for your consumption. Whether it's from the left or from the right or from whoever's giving it to you, they think about how you're going to react to it, what reaction they want, and they feed it to you. Now, there are more groups than just the left and the right. There are people who have agendas. There are propagandists. There are people who are just earnest lovers of life, of liberty, who easily fall into believing nonsense because they really, really, really want to believe it. So I could lay out all these groups of people, from people who are purposely lying to you because they want you to react a certain way, to people who are not purposely lying to you, that truly believe the things that they're saying, but they don't know anything, and they've believed a lie from somebody else. There are people that are concocting lies who truly, truly believe that they're doing the right thing, but they're concocting lies and putting them out there. And then there are all the way to the extreme of people who are absolutely, completely lying because they want you to react a certain way. And the media is in there, and the media never puts anything out that isn't according to a certain agenda. Now, if you take all this panoply, this plethora of information that we get, almost all of it is false. Almost all of it. And you're sitting here in front of the screen, and there's a guy, I can name the guy, he may even be watching this, probably is. He thinks in his mind, he's got this like idea of himself that somehow he's like the guy that's on the inside, and he's like posting memes and he's posting all these stuff. He says, I don't get my news from the mainstream media. And all he does is get his news from the alternative media, which is just as much bullshit. You are just as likely to be misled. And so there's all these people out there, and they're all typing and they're putting out stuff. How is anyone not to fall for it? How in the world does Michael Bunker, for 20-some years, continue to call stuff that's likely to happen? Well, first of all, I admit to myself that no matter who's telling me something, there's probably something wrong with it. There's probably some agenda there that's twisting or skewing information. That means I can't know it unless I personally know it. Hello, Hava. Hello, Nancy. We're going to do some fun things. We're going to do that, Nancy. But I got to get this out because I want to help people, right? I want to help you exist through this period without melting down, right? And so the first thing you have to do is, when you don't know something, admit you don't know it. When you're standing there, and this happens to all of us, when you're standing there or you're in a chat room or wherever you are, digital or reality, and somebody starts going off about what they heard, or they've got an insider. Some insider told them, some lawyer, some working for the Trump administration or somebody working for the Biden administration told them something. The first thing you have to do is you have to disregard it. You cannot give it undue weight if you don't know. So here's the way intelligence works in the intelligence industry. You have to weight the source. You give a weight scale to the source. 99% of the time, the stuff that people send me, like saying, what do you think about this? They have not done 1 minute of work to weight the source. Give a weight scale. Just because somebody's sitting in their truck and they're freaking obese and they obviously are not a prophet of God, and they're sitting there and they're like, some guy, an insider told me this, and I got insiders and they're telling me stuff, doesn't mean anything. You should give that zero weight. I'm going to correct you, CW Ashley. You're right. Alt news addicts think they know everything. All news addicts think they know everything. Just correct the spelling a little bit. All news addicts think they know everything. So some guy sitting there saying, well, I got my information from some guy that works for the CIA, some guy that works for the NSA, some guy that works for the NAACP, the NBA, the NFL, some kind of initials, told me some stuff, right? You cannot give any undue weight if you haven't personally vetted that person's, whatever you want to call it, their credentials. You give it a zero. In the intelligence industry, somebody walks up to you and they're like, yeah, John has a bomb. Okay, it's important enough to get my attention, but now I'm going to look at who is the guy telling me. And I want to know everything about the guy telling me. And let me tell you why. Here's the problem with most of you people who are putting stuff out on the internet that turns out to be false over and over and over again. You have zero credibility because you never go back to your source when they're wrong. So I'm sitting here minding my own business, and I get a private message or I get a direct message on Twitter, or somebody sends a message and they're like, this guy, he knows that on January 4th, Trump is going to declare martial law and they're going to come in and or Obama's going to put everybody, Jade Helm, they're going to put everybody in prison camps at Walmart. And this guy that I know, and I know this guy, I've known this guy for years. He's like, definitely, we're all going to prison camps from Jade Helm, Obama, blah, blah, blah. And it never happens. Nothing that they say ever happens. So my level of responsibility is I go to you and I say, what are you going to do? You said you got this information from somebody. This is the way the intelligence industry works, and it was false. Are you going to go expose that person who gave you false information? Because that false information was given to you for a reason. It wasn't just some guy. You said that you knew this guy for years, all this kind of stuff. You were given false information because the powers that be wanted to see how people were going to react. They wanted to see if people were going to get their guns and they were going to go down to Walmart, stop people from going into train camps or whatever. This stuff happens every day. And you people never go back to the source and go, this information I received was false and it came from James, and James's name is this, and James works for so. You should stop trying to protect the identity of people who give you false information. And then you should stop sharing that information ever for the rest of your life. Ever. You get it wrong one time that big, you should have so much shame and so much self-doubt that after that you never do it again. And all you people do is you constantly do this over and over. And let me tell you something. The worst people, as a Christian man, the worst people that do this are Christians who know that gossip is a sin, who know that lying is a sin. And if you do, because if you're putting this stuff out because you care about people and it turns out to not happen one time, your responsibility is to remediate that situation. You go back to everybody you told that information, everybody you sent that information to, and you tell them you got it wrong and that you are never going to listen to that person who gave you that information again. This is how false prophets proliferate in the last days. Christian people who claim to love the truth will sit there day after day for 20 years putting out bad information, false information, lies, gossip, and all of this, and they will get it wrong. oh my gosh, we're going to get a rapture in 1988. 88 reasons why the rapture is going to happen in 1988. Oh, then it's going to be 1998. We got it wrong, but it's okay now. There was a guy named Michael Rood who was in the Hebrew Roots movement, who every year put out a calendar about when the rapture was going to happen based on the barley crop in Israel. Every year he got it wrong. He got everything wrong, including his doctrine. The guy's a complete false prophet and a liar. And you know what? The same people would buy his corrected and agriculturally correct calendar every year. Now, I'm giving you an extreme case. And so what happens when you give an extreme case is people that are down the middle of the road guilty will say, well, I'm not as bad as that guy. All I did was send everybody on my Facebook list a private message with a video saying, check this out. And it turned out to be false. And you got a bunch of people worked up, and you got a bunch of people spreading this stuff around. Nobody ever goes backwards. No, and I do. You give me false information, and I'm fine with somebody sending me a message saying, I don't know what to think about this. What do you think about that? Praise God for you that you have some humility, and I appreciate it. But the people who are constantly sending me stuff, especially through private message or direct message, and acting like this stuff is true, and day after day after day it proves to be false or mostly false because it's propaganda. Now, why would people lie to you? Why would people on your side of the fence lie to you? Let me tell you why. First of all, there's people that believe that it's true. They absolutely are convinced that it's true. And they actually convinced that something bad is about to happen or the government's going to do this or that, and they probably are. That's why it's more important to get it right. And so they hear something and it aligns with their preconceived biases. And so they go with their bias and they go, okay, well, this sounds like the pre-trib rapture futurist nonsense that I've imbibed for 20 years. It sounds exactly like what I believe the Bible says is going to happen. So I'm going to put it out there. And so what you end up doing is you put out something and it ends up being false. Instead of repenting, feeling bad about it, maybe questioning your whole eschatological view, which is what you should do, just turn the page and go to the next day and put out the next thing. Yeah, sorry about Twitch not working out for you, Frank. War Dog Heim says, but Michael Bunker, they're flying black helicopters and train cars full of shackles. Oh, yeah, I can remember. Oh, I'm old enough to remember 1999 when every email I got, every message I got was like, oh, a train car overturned and it was full of head chopper uppers, guillotines. And I would sit there, I'd be in front of a crowd of 400 people. And somebody would say, did you hear about the train car that overturned and it was full of guillotines or it was full of this? I was like, how come that's the only thing that ever, no train car overturns and it's like full of like ice cream. It's always full. I don't care what you think about my face. Back away from the screen, dude. The word dude, by the way, is an insult to Texans. Just to let you know. So everybody was like, oh my gosh, it was like a train car overturned. Oh, it's train car overturned, and it was full of guillotines. Where are those people? Where are those guillotines? Where are the Jade Helm people that were like, there were tunnels and we're all going to go to the camps? I am not saying that that's not going to happen. I'm not saying that they don't have plans. I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I just one that happens to love the truth. So here's how you kind of start to see this stuff. Number one, some rules to not be fooled. Number one, have a love for the truth so that when you hear something, you want to vet or weight the source. Write down their name. Or remember it. Is this person credible? Do you know anything at all about them? If you don't know anything about them and you don't know whether they're credible, give them a 0 rating for weight. Second, is it possible they know anything? If it's a morbidly obese person who's claiming to be a prophet of God, and they clearly are not in the military, they clearly are not in the intelligence infrastructure, there's no reason for them to know something except they have lawyer friends or something like that. They're not a prophet of God. There's no reason they would know anything. Give them a 0 rating. Doesn't mean what they're saying is not true. Please use the laws of logic. A ass could tell you the truth on accident or on purpose, like Balaam's ass. I'm telling you, you don't give it undue weight if you have no reason to. Number one, is this person credible? Number two, do I know anything at all about them? Is there anything at all that would tell me, other than their own claims, as to why they would have any insider information? Number three, are they saying something that's patently absurd? They're a prophet. No, they're not. Just saying, no, they're not. If they're not suffering, if God hasn't put them through the ringer, if they have no humility, if they're not, if they obviously are not missing the buffet at the Golden Corral, they're not a prophet of God. Prophecy as it existed in the Old Testament doesn't exist now. There are prophets, but they're just people that tell you what God said already in the scripture, checkable. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the information you're sharing has the proper warning signal on it. In other words, not only did the person giving it to you warn you that it could be false, but are you warning the people you're sharing it with? Are you telling them, I don't know if this is true, this could be completely false. It could be disinformation. It could be completely concocted in order to get us to react in a certain way. The next thing you want to act is, what is the purpose of the information? In other words, is somebody trying to get me to do something? Are they trying to get me to feel a certain way? Are they trying to get me to not do something? Know that before you make any determination, before you share it with anybody. Is somebody trying to get you to feel a certain way, to react a certain way? Are they trying to dishearten you? Or are they trying to get you to do something stupid? Those are generally the things that they're trying to get from you. The next thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, how in the world does this information exist in the real world? For example, when somebody comes to you and they tell you that Hillary Clinton is an alien or a reptile, and she has to be frozen at night, because they don't have the technology perfected, and that Jimmy Carter is also a reptilian, and they drink baby blood, and they gotta be put in the freezer at night with the push pops down there with the rocket pops. Ask yourself, how does this information exist in the real world? In other words, what universe would have to actually exist in order for this to have any type of reality to it? When you're telling me something that's so bizarre, for example, I've told this story before. I was in Australia, and a guy comes up to me and he says, listen, KFC, they got a whole scam going, and they are pumping those restaurants and around the restaurant full of smells that make you want to eat chicken. Dead serious. And I said, why would I be at KFC if I didn't already want to eat chicken? And he just glazed over. But third, he went from They're pumping chicken smells in a place that makes chicken in order to make you want to eat chicken, to the fact that they were the chickens themselves were not real chickens. They were chicken larvae that were being grown artificially. They had no legs, they had no mouths, they had no beaks, they had no feathers, and they were full of tubes, and they were just chicken carcasses that were being force fed, and they were alive, but they were not really alive, and that's how they were growing. And I said, how is it cheaper to create an artificial life support system for every individual chicken than to just raise chickens? And here's the thing. I'm not saying that food is healthy, because it's not. And I'm not saying they don't pump them full of chemicals, because they do. And I'm not saying that they don't have antibiotics, because they do. And I'm not saying that they don't do some questionable tactics and that their raising is probably not humane. And I don't eat KFC. I'm saying it's probably not true. One, that they are creating some monstrosity that's not really chicken, that's like kept alive by an alternative source. And that's probably not true that they've created some kind of smell, some pheromone that makes you want to eat chicken when you wouldn't even be in KFC unless you already wanted chicken. Now, it seems like an extreme case, and I always warn you people, when I give you an extreme case, you dismiss your own situation. You dismiss what you've been doing, the conspiracy theories you've been sharing. Conspiracies exist. Almost everything is a conspiracy in real life. The problem is that you diminish anybody's understanding when you go with this stuff and you share it without any type of examination, without critical thinking. Yes, I do want to have some shows where we do some positive stuff. And we're going to get into some positive stuff right now. This is the end of my rant. I hope you liked it. This is a Bunker Nation where we teach you how to think and thrive, and I hope that I've helped at least one person out there stop listening to nonsense that's negative, that's making you think stupid things because you don't know the truth about it. For the person who said, dude, your head's too big, here's the reason my head's filling the screen. This is a segue into the next section, because the rest of me looks pretty good in this shirt, right? And so I was trying not to intimidate you with my physique while I'm telling you the truth. So let's segue, since that's what we're going to do. This shirt I got today is one of the most comfortable, beautiful, breathable, fitting, comfortable t-shirts I've ever owned in my life. The guy who makes these shirts and all of that is going to be making the Bunker Nation shirts, and merch is coming. Hello, Diane. I hope you didn't miss the whole rant. I hope you didn't miss it. So anyways, today I had a meeting. It was a business meeting like business people have. And I am ordering the Bunker Nation shirts, the Embrace Discomfort shirts, and all that kind of stuff. This is a sample of the beautiful shirts. So if you think my video is too much face, that's because I don't want to show too much body. I'm not trying to be showing off these shirts and how good they look and how good you're going to look in a Bunker Nation shirt. Why, that would be improper. That would be prurient. We're getting shirts like these. I need to know what colors you're interested in. I need to know what styles you're interested in. We're going to have some Bunker Nation shirts, much like the other Bunker Nation shirts were just no good. That's why I stopped getting them. They were just no good. The quality was bad. They were Gildan shirts and all of this. This is the most comfortable shirt I've ever put on. We're going to have long sleeve. We're going to have short sleeve. We're going to have different colors. There's going to be a Bunker Nation shirt with the Bunker Nation logo. And there's going to be a Embrace Discomfort shirt. One of the shirts that I'm thinking about getting on the front is going to say Free Speech Zone. Black, olive, green, and red. War Dog and I were on the same page. Black, olive, green, and red, and perhaps desert tan. We'll see. Those are the ones we're going to start off with. But funny looking you are, Michael. I mean, you are funny explaining that shirt as you do look good. Thank you. I'm trying not to, overemphasize anything other than the intellect. I want to be known for my mind. My wife tells me she doesn't care. People ask all the time, they say, what does your wife think about your body transformation? What does she think about the new you? And I'm like, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She married me for my mind. And that's the only thing she's interested in. Dark gray long sleeve. All right. I'm with you on that. We're going to do long sleeve. We're going to do short sleeve. We're going to do some hoodies. And the hat is going to be fantastic. Baseball cap, patch, trucker hat coming in. Long sleeve black is going to happen. But I talked to the guy today. We're going to be emailing to get all the specs set up. And V-neck is going to happen, but it may be in the second round. We'll see. I understand people like V-neck shirts. The difference between the first Bunker Nation shirts that went out and these shirts is night and day. These are the best shirts. Every shirt that I have would be this shirt. Every shirt. So I appreciate the segue about my head being too big or my face being too big in the picture, because I was trying to de-emphasize the prurient interest in the rest of me, right? I'm trying to de-emphasize it. I'm with you. I pretty much only wear black shirts, but I live in Texas. When it gets into the spring and summer, I have to do away with the black shirts because it's just too hot. And so we're going to have some gray. We're going to have some olive green. We're going to have some muted colors that aren't just absolutely solar collectors. So that's coming up. Here's the other thing I wanted to share with you. And you guys know I'm like full on sharing the truth with you all the time. We are doing great. You guys are doing great. Subscriptions are up tremendously. We've had our best 30 days in history. We're at 2,013 subscribers, 65 in the last 28 days, which is fantastic. But I want to call your attention down here to where it says revenue. It says we're up 193%. That just tells you how bad December was. $45.81 in the last 28 days. It's just not going to do it. So I'm hoping you guys understand how this works. If you will go to michaelbunker.com right here, you can click on the partner thing and you can do a donation. The best thing you can do though right now, if you're on YouTube, down in the comments section, when you put comments in, there's a little dollar sign. You can click on that little dollar sign. You can do what's called a super chat. Super chat, what it does is you can make an immediate donation of $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, whatever you want to do. And then it like allows your comment to hang up at the top. People get to see it. And it helps tremendously. So I wanted to let you guys know about that because that's the money I'm going to use to buy the shirts and to buy the stuff for the merch and to keep the channel going and to do everything we're doing. So hit the dollar sign down there by the comment section or go to, it's always backwards, michaelbunker.com. Go up there and click on partners. Ward Heim did it. Thank you. $20. All right. We just boosted our January amount from $46 to $66. It takes about 150 for me to just keep. Otherwise, I still do it, but it's basically a charity thing where I'm like trying to help people. And I feel good about it, but it would be great if I could order some of these shirts and get all this stuff out there. We can have fun. It's going to be fun. Once we get the merch out there, the brand new website's being designed as we speak. It would be great. So hit the dollar sign down in the comment section if you're on YouTube. And here's the other thing. Let's say you didn't get stimulated. Let's say you didn't get a stimulus check. You did, and you should share. But let's just say you didn't. Here's what you can do. Hit the like button. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Periscope, or wherever you are. That's the first step. It's free. hit the like button. Go down in the comment section, down in the description, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share. Tell somebody, this guy's like, he's like saying stuff other people aren't saying. Get it out there. Share it with people, etc. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get all that stuff's free. You can do it. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to do the $5. Subscribe, share, comment. After the show's over, I say this every time, but about 5 people do it. After the show's over, give it 10 minutes. Go to the bathroom, make yourself a sandwich. Then go down and thank you, Nancy. We're killing it. $14.99. I appreciate it. Go down to the comment section. And after this is over, hit refresh and leave a comment. Just say, this is my comment. Or great shirt. Your body looks fantastic, but I don't want to draw attention to it because it's not important. We like your mind like your wife does. Write these comments in the comment section. Do that, and every time there's a comment or a like, YouTube's like, people like this show. It's getting more popular all the time. We want more people to see it, and then they'll share it. Then more people will get all of the wisdom that you've been getting. And you guys know, if you've been here since whenever of last year, I've been ahead of the curve on every single thing that's going to happen. So let's do that. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, comment, all that kind of stuff is free, but we really do got to pay bills. So you can donate. You can go down right now in the comment section, hit the $ while we're live, do a super chat. If you don't want to, go to michaelbugger.com, hit the partner button, do a $10 a month thing. What are the shirts made out of? Cotton? A blend of cotton and poly? Let's find out. I don't know how to look. Let's find out. I'm going to read it because I haven't looked. I just know they're comfortable. I felt them. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Everybody just unsubscribed because I took my shirt off. All right. What is this shirt made out of? Maybe too small for me to read. I'm an old man. 50% polyester, 20% algodon, 20% rayon. Okay, 50% polyester, 25% cotton, 25% rayon. I think that adds up to 100%. I hope I didn't offend anybody by ripping my shirt off, but I wanted to answer the question properly without any prurient interests. I'm an old man. I got to be able to read stuff. So now you know, 25% cotton, 25% rayon. Here's the back of the shirt, by the way. That is a Yeti. That is a Yeti riding a buffalo. And I love these shirts, by the way. I don't care what's on them. I told my wife I don't care what's on them. They're so freaking comfortable that it doesn't matter what's on. So who unsubscribed because I took my shirt off? How many? Let's put in the comment section how many people unsubscribed because I took my shirt off. No, I'm serious. These are quality shirts. They're the bomb. They will come in white as well. We're gonna get white for sure, black for sure, olive green for sure, probably this color red for sure. And then we're going to try to do V-necks, maybe the second round. And we're going to do a long sleeve, which is critical. And we're going to do hoodies. There probably will be a very limited amount of hoodies and a limited color selection because those things are like high demand. And we're just going to not offended that easily. Well, I'm glad I didn't offend you, Hava. I'm glad I didn't offend anybody. Was anybody offended by the fact that I just stripped off my shirt and it's 30 degrees outside? Embrace discomfort, right? Hey, if anybody has any questions or comments or anything you want to talk about, just put them in the comment section right now. Type them in wherever you are. If you're on Twitch, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Periscope, if you're on any of the Facebook channels, if you're on YouTube, type something in there. It's cold. It's supposed to get warmer, but it's cold right now. So we're going to sit here and give a couple of minutes. I'm not done yet. It's only 40 minutes in. Believe me, you're going to want to get these shirts. Most of them are going to be limited edition. So the ones we're looking at it right now are the Bunker Nation traditional, you're in the club shirts. We're going to get the Embrace Discomfort shirts and hats. And then I'm thinking we're going to get one. And this is just an idea, but let me know what you think. That says Free Speech Zone. And then it says Embrace Discomfort and the Bunker Nation logo on the back. I don't know for sure, but the third one is up to you guys. Whatever you guys want to see. All right, Ethan's in the house. Nancy's in the house. She says the salt trucks are out here. Oh my gosh, I hate to see it. We just now got over our winter event. It's supposed to be warm the next 2 days with less wind. It is cold right now. It's been getting cold at night, but it's January. But it's supposed to be getting better. It's supposed to be nice the next 2 days. Danielle is off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So those are my favorite days of the week because she's home. We get to spend time together. Today, we went to town. We did laundry. We hung out, and we had a great time. It's my favorite time is when she's home. And so, Frank, by the way, Frank, we need to get together. Let's do it this weekend, maybe. I'll be coming to Brownwood. We'll hang out. Frank says, I know far too many people who are good people, friends, who will repost anything they see when just a few minutes research will show that it is a load of crap. Number one, you're correct, 100%. Number two, not only will they do that, they don't repent and they don't go backwards and try to out the person. If we all went backwards and outed the person who scammed us, outed the person who gave us that information, find the person you got it from and do something, including never listen to them again. Once somebody gives you false information, go backwards up the chain and let's see how far we can go. We will find that a lot of this crap comes from the same people. They're pumping it out day after day. All right. I'm going to probably watch this later. Hey, Ethan, you don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us when you come and go. You can just say hi. Doesn't matter. All right, he probably got upset because I took my shirt off. Probably intimidated by an old man. I'm just joking, Ethan. All right, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything you want to talk about, let me know. I'm here for you. Can you tell I'm excited about the shirts? I got to meet with the guy today. I'm very, very excited. I'm also excited about the coffee. The coffee's going to be coming soon. I haven't put in the order yet, but once I put the order in, and then it's going to, I don't want to take any orders till I know I'm getting the product. Yeah, we can't wait, Ethan, for you to tell us, like, I got to go walk the dog or whatever it is that you're doing. We love when you keep us updated. Anyways, I can't wait to get the coffee. The coffee's a big deal for me. And let me tell you why. It's kind of a thing right now that people are selling coffee that is private labeled by these bulk companies that are just. So I get messages all the time. People wanting me to do supplements, want me to push supplements or like protein powder. They're like, have your own private label protein powder. It's the same stuff everybody else is getting. They just want you to put your name on it and sell their stuff. I'm not going to do that. I want to put out stuff that I like, that I appreciate, that works for me, that's going to work for you. And so that's the way I was with the coffee. I found a guy. It's not a company. It's just a guy that roasts his own coffee. It's really, really good. He can get the best stuff. He's doing it the way they did it when coffee was first became popular in Turkey and Indonesia and all those places. And that's the guy who's going to be making the coffee. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how it's going to work out. I hope it's going to work out great. But that's coming up pretty quick. All right, everybody, if you got questions or comments, get them in there. It's 44 minutes. We're running to the end of this show. This has been a good one. Make sure you share it. Please hit the like button wherever you are. Facebook, YouTube. Go to YouTube after this show is over. Give me 10 minutes. Right now it is 7:45. At 8:10 your time, whether that's 9:10 or whatever time it is where you are, go to YouTube. Go to Michael Bunker. Just put in Michael Bunker in the search engine. Find this channel. Find this video and make a comment. Just say, hey, Bunker, I hate it. Leave your shirt on, you dumbass. Whatever you want to put. I love it. Right. Take your shirt off every show. Whatever you want to say, put it on there, and that's going to help. Hava says, speculation or info presented as fact can still paint a scenario that one might not even thought as a possibility. So I've been focusing on not being afraid and learning because I don't know squat. It is true that information can help. Bad information can make people make bad decisions. So I'm asking people to be responsible. Be responsible for the information you put out there. If you put information out there, and it can happen to anybody that turns out to be false, then remediate that. Let people know that you put out false information. Tell people you were wrong and work it backward through the system. Find the person who posted it or the person who gave you bad information and ask them, where did you get this? Please go to that person and work it backwards. If we kept doing that, we could put an end to this because the propaganda is actually real. People actually do this on purpose. There are people whose jobs who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to get you to act in certain ways. They want nothing more than a bunch of people to go down to Washington or Austin and do something stupid. Gonzo School says, spiritual social question. How do you build bridges to people, even those who disagree or hate you? I think you have to have credibility is the number one thing. The number one thing is empathy, and empathy can't be faked. So the ability, I think it was on the last show. If not, it's going to be the next one. Here's one of the problems I have is I forget what shows I've done. I'm actually walking around my land, and sometimes I do a whole show in my head, things I want to talk about, and I never actually do the show on here, and I think that I've already done it. So one of the shows that I want to do is on how to understand, or maybe I've already done it, how to understand people you disagree with, how to think like them and understand like them. When you can do that, you have empathy. Doesn't mean you agree with them, and it doesn't mean that you have any feeling whatsoever for or positive feeling for their position. It just means you can understand them. So once you can do that, and when I talk about somebody's position, and I actually have thought about it from their point of view and the information they have, they can detect that. They detect that in the fact that you're speaking their language, and then you can build a bridge because they give you some respect. Even if they're wrong, even if everything they think is bullshit, they will at least look at you and go, okay, this person's thought about this in the way that I've thought about it. One of the problems with communication today is that there are people who go out there and they think they know what Republicans or Democrats or libertarians or constitutional monarchists think, and they haven't even spent 5 seconds trying to actually understand them. And it comes across. If somebody sits there and tries to refute your position and they misstate your position, they create a straw man at the very beginning, all of a sudden you don't want to talk to that person. There's no bridge built because that person doesn't understand your point of view. So the very best thing we can do is we can learn how to think like someone other than ourselves. You learn how to think like people whose opinions you oppose. Why do they think what they think? What information do they have? Why are they this way? And then you can, when you are speaking with them or you're speaking publicly and you illustrate their position, you do it properly because you understand where they got it from. It gives you some credibility. That's how we build bridges. All right. What are your preferred information sources? I try, basically, my information source is actually like 5 steps removed. I can actually not look at the news. I can not look at anything, and I can look at social media. I can see what all the liberals are saying and what all the conservatives are saying, and I've been doing this long enough, I can find out what actually happened just by listening to what they say. Because they couch things in terms that protects their own interest, and you can start to pick up all those things. It's instinctive after a while. So that's one of the big things I do. I also actually do look at some left and right media, none of the mainstream stuff. I don't watch news, but I can look at Twitter, and I can look at the mainstream media, and I can know because I know what bullshit is. I know how propaganda works. I know Bernays better than they do, and then I just interpret it. And so it helps me understand what's actually going on. The next thing is that there are think tanks out there on the left or on the right or in the middle who actually just put out data. I've talked about this about watching movies. If you want to understand what the 1940s were like, you can actually watch movies that were made in the 1940s that are not trying to trick you. In other words, a movie from the 1940s about the 1907 or 1902, whatever it was, World's Fair. There will be everything other than the main dialogue, the main storyline. If you're watching the movie and you're using your peripheral vision, you can pick up things. So like light switches, how lanterns work, how they moved water, how farming worked. Those things are ancillary to the story. So nobody would have ever thought about lying about it. And you can do the same thing with the news today. You can watch things and you can look at the stuff that nobody's ever thought about lying about, and you can pick up information. So a lot of it's interpretive, a lot of it's based on pattern recognition, of which I have a high capacity, and from that I kind of determine my news. All right, media literacy organization called PEN America, very good resource. All right, don't know anything about them. What about talk radio? I listen to some of it, but I have a very difficult time with it. And so you can basically get the gist of what actually happened from talk radio, whether it's the left or the right, but they're clearly trying to steer things in a certain way. So whether it's NPR, which I love to listen to NPR, even though I don't agree with them at all about it. I've been on NPR. And I also listen to, every once in a while, I listen to Rush. I have trouble listening to Hannity. But I'll listen to liberal talk shows too, just because at the root of whatever they're trying to manipulate or they're trying to portray or they're trying to frame, you can get a basis of what actually happened. And so that's another way. And if you can do this and continue to maintain your love of the truth, it's not about ideology. It's not about trying to prove yourself right or to continue to validate your biases. If you don't care about anything but the truth, you can get to it. You can learn. A lot of it is a very, very freakish mind that I have that has the ability to interpret data from shadows and background and interpreting logic and reason from. I've learned how people trick people, and so I know how to read what people are saying behind what they're saying. And so that's just something that you got to come up with. What about Michael Savage? Don't listen to him. I don't have the ability. I don't, he's not on here where I am, but I don't listen to anybody that's just such a hyper partisan that they don't have anything. It's not that I don't like them or I don't agree with them. I can't learn anything from them. Do you think the movement Eradicate Trumpism will continue to grow? Yes, I think it will continue to grow. I personally know so many people that are using this phrase quite a bit. Yes, there's no doubt that we are in a Bolshevik type revolution, and that revolution requires, whether or not it's truthful or not, the eradication of points of view that are contrary to that Bolshevism. That Bolshevism has decided that the most dangerous thing to the deep state, to the entrenched powers that be in the Republican and Democratic Party is Trumpism. So the idea that eradicate Trumpism is not a partisan issue. It's not something that's coming from the Democratic Party. It's coming from the Republican Party too. And the reason why is because millions, tens of millions of people who previously had been quiet are now activated in being active in politics and all of that. Some of it to their own detriment, some of it wrongly, some of it rightly, but they've been activated. And so, yes, I think eradicate Trumpism is going to grow to the point where it's up there with 1984 type of speak, where even phrases are going to be banned. Signs are going to be banned. Trumpism is defined basically as, I would define it as a political movement that is founded on the idea that there is an infrastructure in government that is non-political, non-partisan, self-interested, diabolical, and does whatever it wants. That includes the intelligence infrastructure, the media infrastructure, and the government infrastructure. These are career politicians who have done things for 100 years, and they do not like outsiders of any stripe telling them. And so to me, I don't care about the right-left dialectic. Trumpism is the idea that that exists. So I wrote a short story I recommend to everybody, and it's called One Arm of the Octopus. You can find it online. I believe it's available. If not, on the next show, somebody remind me, and I'll find a way for you to get it. I'll get it to you for free. We'll post it on my michaelbunker.com. If somebody reminds me. It's called One Arm of the Octopus. And I ask you, and I wrote it before Trump ever became president, I ask you to read it because it identifies the fact that there is an established deep state that exists, that is both Democratic and Republican. They work together. They have they control every congressman, every senator's private staff, all of the operations, the machinations of government. An outsider got in there, and they were like, "No effing way, this is going to go on," and they determined to take him out. That one is on the Kindle, I believe. We got a few seconds here, so let me look up real quickly on Amazon and see if it's available for people to buy. If not, I'll find a way for you to get it. One Arm of the Octopus. Maybe not. Maybe not. It was available as a short story. It was in a. Anthology. But I'm going to get it. If somebody reminds me, I'm going to put this story available for free on my website, michaelbunker.com. Don't let me forget, all right? Remind me. For years, I pointed to Gramsci hegemony. It was at work, and almost always it was. You're right. People have to read that. It was long. All right. So here's the thing. I got to go. We're at 58 minutes. Appreciate you guys. God bless you. Love you. Make sure you don't let us founder here with less money than we need to at least pay the bills. Go to michaelbunker.com. Go to the partner. We'd love to have you as a $1 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month partner. Find some way to help out as best you can. Make sure you're ready. Get ready for the Bunker Nation merch. Got to go. God bless you. I love you all, every one of you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you again, if not tomorrow, then the next day. God bless.